Manchester City 3, Aston Villa 1. Villa fans, drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you're new and drop a like on this video. Let's have a like target of 500 likes on this video. So, a load of emotions going through that game. Frustration, anger at times what I was watching. And then I started to get a bit of belief towards the end that we could get more goals in it. And it was just a frustrating game. And, you know, it all came from the first corner they had the runner on the near post and the score. And it was just too easy. And that just set the tone for the first half. We were second to every ball, lethargic. We lacked any drive, any ounce of aggression in that first half. We just absolutely, we couldn't get a foot in. We couldn't get a foothold of the game. We were second, third to every ball. We weren't putting a challenge in. We weren't imposing ourselves. And those were, the standalone frustrations that I had from the first half because, you could see in the first minute that when we had that ball and we played it in behind Man City and we created that chance and got the corner, I thought, hold on a minute, this is the tactic that we spoke about in the predicted lineup in the match preview, how you can hurt Man City. And then after that, first half, just no ambition was there. It was so poor. And, the midfield just weren't helping out the double pivot. It looked like the double pivot was in there on its own, and then there was just nothing else. We were being swamped by Man City. I felt like the two up top first half, Bailey especially, just wasn't helping out, wasn't offering any support at all. It was really frustrating. And in this game, Man City were looking to play in behind, and Chambers in that first half, he looked like a rabbit in the headlights, didn't he? He looked like he'd never seen a ball go over the top of his head in all his life. He just did not know what to do. He didn't know where to position himself. It was a real poor half from Chambers, I thought. Gundogan had a through ball in behind. Haaland sort of got took out by Martinez. That was a chance that they had as well. And it was just runs at the near post time and time again. And we just lacked communication, especially in the first half. We missed Tyrone Mings massively. We missed his organisation, his leadership, his aerial threat off corners. He's always the one that's in space that will just pick up that loose ball off a set piece. And it's just really frustrating. Bailey, when he was 1v1, poor second touch. You were just looking for him to drive past Diaz, and he just couldn't. And then poor defending from Chambers out of position for Gundogan's goal, and Young, at the back post as well. Grealish penalty, looked for contact, got the foul, 3-0 at half time, and it was just such a frustrating half because we just didn't lay a glove on them. And I was really annoyed at half time because we're better than that. We are a lot better than that first half performance. And that is my massive frustration, that we just didn't want to engage and be bold and brave and show what we were all about. And, I was so annoyed. But at half time, Haaland went off. And then just into half-time, we made some changes. Luca Dean went off for Moreno, McGinn for Buendia, and Duran for Bailey. And this is where my mood in this game changed, because we started to show something. We started to show what we were all about. We were being brave on the ball. I mean, Coutinho, for that spell, when he was getting on it, picking the passes, he was brave to get on the ball, and he was executing some really good passes. First thing Duran does, partnering Watkins up top, wins the ball back. Luiz to Watkins, beautiful goal, brilliant finish. That's what you want from your support striker, offering a challenge and offering a bit of protection to coming back and trying to retrieve the ball. And it was fantastic from Duran. The first thing he did, and I was just like, fair play to him, because he's got stuck in. He's won the ball back. Luiz, brilliant ball. Watkins, what a finish. He's got another goal now. He's starting to, when he gets chances, he's starting to look clinical. and that Coutinho little cameo when Edison had to tip it over the bar. And he had that one where we shot it across the box. We were starting to move and starting to motor in this game, and it was just pleasing to see an ounce of a reaction for some of the players, because I felt like Buendia as well was quiet. Buendia went back to his normal self before this little bit of form that he's had, where just chasing absolute shadows, all game. Didn't offer anything, did he? Didn't seem like he wanted to get on the ball, couldn't impose himself. Bailey again, I just want to see some drive from him. I want to see some aggression in his game where he just picks up the ball and he's like, you know what, I'll take this on myself. 1v1, I can beat you. Gets that shot off, but nah. And then that one when it went out for a throw-in and he just left it, and I was just like, oh my days. And then when Duran comes on, he offers some injection, he offers something a bit different. And I mean, if you want to see what Duran's all about now, that little knee and that shot that hit the bar, absolutely fantastic. So for me, them three subs that came on start the next game for me. Moreno, Duran, and Coutinho, because they offered something, and they showed a bit of belief and a bit of something. And the three that replaced them were just poor for me. They just lack a little bit of that for me. They go and they play within themselves, and that's where we have problems, when a couple of these players play within themselves and don't be bold and brave on the ball. We have massive problems. And I think the three that came on for me in tough circumstances, 3-0 down, offered more in that 30-minute cameo than the rest of them did in the 60 minutes. So, it was just a bit frustrating first half. And then I think towards the end of the half, to the end of the game, we at least showed some belief and an ounce of willingness to want to get in the game. I thought Martinez, I think he kept us in the game at times. I'd give Martinez a solid 7. I thought Ashley Young was okay. It's always going to be tough when, he's 1v Grealish, when you're looking at Grealish driving down you and driving forward. So I think Young had a good game. I'd give Young a 6. I thought Konsa was all right. I'd probably give Konsa a 6 as well. Chambers, I did think he looked a bit better towards the end of the game, to be fair. But I'd give him a 5. Luca Dean, I'd give him a 4-5. Just poor for me. Really poor. Kamara and Luis, it was always going to be a tough game for them. I felt like they didn't get much support from Ramsey and especially Buendia at times. So I'd give the double pivot both a 6. Ramsey, Buendia, 5s. Watkins, I'd give him a solid 7. Bailey, I'd give him a 4. And then I think Duran, when he came on, lively, showed a little bit and a little bit of a cameo. 6.5, 7 for me. Coutinho, when he come on, 6.5, 7. I'm looking at him in that tough circumstance to get on the ball and show something. And I'll give Cash a 5. So, all in all, frustrated with our application in the first half, frustrated with our belief, frustrated with a couple of them because we're better than that. And then edging towards the end of the game, I felt a little bit better, but we've got to show this belief at times, especially away from home when it's getting a little bit tough, that we can mix it. And I did want to see us impose ourselves a little bit, but when you're letting Rodri have that easy run in the first 4 minutes off a corner, going 1-0 down early on, so annoying. And it does just show that we do miss Mings massively, because he is a leader on the pitch and he leads that back line. And I think Mings and Carlos, when Carlos is back, probably will be the centre-back partnering. But, it's just Villa fans. Let me know what your thoughts are with a couple of them, because they're just... They're just let down merchants. They just let me down, and it's so frustrating that we persevered with the 4-4-2 today, and I did think maybe we should have dropped a player in midfield a little bit just to offer that little bit of support. But what we spoke about in the preview, that I wanted us to go a little bit longer, but I wanted us to go long into the channels a little bit. But at times it felt like we were just aimlessly booting balls forward. And I know we're under pressure, and Man City were good, weren't they? They were swamping us, but through the line sometimes we just need to have that little bit of nous. And I do think, Guendouzi, we do lack that physicality, don't we? I think the double pivot's great. It does its job. It works well, but we get overrun at times, especially midfield, and we just need that one player just to put that challenge in. I can't really remember a Villa player all game sticking one on De Bruyne, sticking one on Bernardo Silva, or just getting stuck in for 5 and just getting that little bit of a foothold. And frustrating. For me, I come away frustrated that we've lost 3-1 against Manchester City, a fantastic side, but I know we're better than that. I know we can play better, and I know we can do better. But I just think we are light in certain areas. We are light in certain positions to try and go toe to toe with Man City a little bit. And I think we just lack a central midfielder, and the out balls at times are decent, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough. And what I liked about Duran when he came on, and I think he's a shining positive from this game, is the fact that his hold-up play looks good. There was one where he was offside, but it came down to him. He controlled it nicely. He got stuck in for me. He's pacey. And I mean, that needs that volley on the, to hit that crossbar. That's Benteke vibes, and that is what I've been crying out for. Someone up top that can just do something out of nothing, little bit of magic. So for me, I'm saying Duran starts the next game. Villa fans, let me know what your thoughts are. What your thoughts on Duran, Watkins? I think, both of them shining lights coming out of this game. Coutinho, that little cameo was good, but everything else was all right. Again, I sort of liked his little bit of presence in midfield. I felt like that helped a little bit. But I do definitely think Moreno starts next game as well for me. I'm not having Luca Dean at the minute, and I'm not having Leon Bailey. I'm just not seeing enough. Yeah, it's not good enough for me. So I've got to be honest, Villa fans. I can't come on and just try and lie. I've got to give my feelings. I've got to say how I feel, and that's basically it. So thanks everyone for watching. We'll have more of a debrief tomorrow morning. So cheers for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and up the Villa.